Hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia, and Azalea, and this is Marty Got
Hello.
Fun. And we are Greengirlstudios, and we are streaming live from Asheville, North Carolina for our Wednesday edition Magic Hour. It took me a second to remember what day of the week it is.
I get confused all the
I
time.
know, I know. Cecilia says, "Hello, everyone. Hello, my friends." Yeah, when you work at home, or well, we work at home then and you're not going anywhere, like you stay on in your studio, it gets to be very easy to like all the days kind of blend together unless you have days that kind of chop it up. Like for us, it's Wednesday and Sunday. We know that we got to prep on Wednesday and Sunday is a big day for us. And what else I was thinking about? Oh, and we have what day is that? Check my notes. Oops. Sorry, all my stuff's on. Hello, Nilda. Hello, my friends. Let's see. GBE. Where's GBE? I made no. Oh, October 17th through the 19th. We have the GBE going, and we're plotting and planning a new kit. We're hoping to have a new pewter piece, and also we want to have some of those small hooks. I don't know if this is going to be possible, but we would love to get that one, like that series of little S hooks or little shepherd's hooks, whatever you call those little small hooks. We would love to offer them in sort of a pre-order format, just so we could, gauge how many we need to order. Number one, and kind of treat it like a pre-order and say this is, the manufacturer end date when they're supposed to ship it to us. So kind of like a what do they call that one? It's like crowdfunded. Kind of basically it's like crowdfunded. So thank you. Sheree says your hair looks so cute, Cynthia. Thank you, Sheree. I appreciate you. Wendy, injured Mel. What is that? What's that mean? Wendy injured me. Oh, hello, Michelle. Hello, Melanie. Hello, my friend. Hello, Karen. Oh, and Marty. He's just happy to be here. He's tired right now.
When is he not tired?
Very tired. Yes. So we have GB coming up in a couple weeks. What else am I talking about? What else did we do? We stopped by and I picked up these over at our friends. And isn't this cute? Look, I did the background art for this. Cute. So cute. Check it out. Adorable. That's that. That's the Jasper. So anyway, as far as production goes, when you have things made in stone, you get a lot of test pieces back. This is a test piece. And so I don't know if they'll be ready, but I might have some really cute pieces that are hand carved stone that we've been designing. They took my sculptures and 3D scanned them. And that came out pretty good, I think. Came out nice. Oh, Melanie had an accident playing kickball. A wee accident. Playing kickball with your dogs. I can't say I ever played, I can't remember ever playing kick in general. I play kickball. I'm sure I have. I just don't remember it. That's been a long time since I played kickball. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Wendy says your froggy nexus is Divoon. Divoon. So funny. Yeah, I was really happy with this, but sometimes when you make something, that's when you need something else, like a clasp. So sometimes these lobster clasps are hard to get undone, at least for me. Pinching that little thing on the end, it's always a trick. So this is the sample of one of the colors. We didn't choose this color. We were given when you order these, you send in one and you check it out and you find out the cost, and you usually have to order minimums. So that's what happens when you order, or if you have the capability. Like this is new to me to be able to have my own shapes done. Pretty awesome. So look at how I did that. It's pretty fun. I was happy with it. Anyway, I'll show you more of that in a minute. And I finished a necklace. This one I finished it. I was hunting for. Gosh, I have this hill tribe, and I've been sitting on it for probably 20 years. I have these flower cups. And I got them from my buddy over at Hands of the Hills ages ago. And I went back and they had a different shape. They weren't rounded like this, they were sharp. I want the sharp ones. So I knew I had to dig out. Like, I don't know, last show I went to last year, I looked for them. And of course, silver, y'all know silver's going through the roof. So that's, and I think these are fine silver. So it's kind of, and they kind of have to be to make some of those shapes. Yeah, he's ready for a snack. He's been waiting. Oh, hello, Deborah. Hello, Michelle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, TGB is coming up. And I know my friends, we've been talking about what's going to happen. Everybody's like, what are you guys doing for your we call it Fall Fest, but it's kind of like, not really, I don't want to say Halloween jewelry because I don't ever make just straight up Halloween jewelry. But yeah, it is the time for that. He loves these. I squeeze these churu treats in a cup because I don't like it when, if you hold it, then they end up biting it and doing that dragon bite.
The technique.
His technique is to bite like halfway down the tube and then drag his head back so the more of the wicked laugh goes into his mouth.
Faster.
It's
because he's big and greedy.
He's a little bit greedy. He just likes to eat. He's a very food-driven cat. Oh, hello, Vera. Oh, and Morphing Designs. Hello, my friends. So, what are we doing today? I have a kit that we just launched this afternoon.
Click send on the comment section to send the link that I got.
All right. Morphing Designs got a lucky dip today. Haven't had a chance to open it. I want to see. I cannot see. Oh, Sheree says the upside is you're not working in gold. Oh, gold. I did buy gold. I did buy it. And I don't care about it. It's in a little puddle in my hand, and it's worth a lot of money. And I just look at it and I'm like, what can I make with this? And I always think I want to make, what I want to make with it, but I don't know if I'd ever be able to sell it. It's one of those things that you're like, is I going to buy this? Who knows? Because it would be a lot of money. At first, I would love to have this teeny frog made. Isn't that so adorable? You all know this one. It's drilled on the side, but it's a hidden hole. I have to wipe down my lens. Let's see, hold on 1 second. Real quick. Yeah, he's large and Sheree says Marty is large and in charge.
True.
Yeah, that's a true story. That is for reals. He's a big cat. He's not, he's not as big as my cat Frick. Now Frick was naturally a big boy. He was at his heaviest. I had to put him on a little bit of a diet, but he was bigger than Marty, 32 pounds. I'm not exaggerating. And he was not like
he was not obese.
He wasn't obese.
He was just
like really big. He was just big boned and like he stood like on his haunches, or not haunches. From his shoulders, what do you call this on a cat? Withers?
I guess.
No, that's on a horse.
You know what? And there's that picture of me when I was like 7, and he's sitting in my lap, and he's like the same size as me.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Standing
cute.
on his hind legs, he's the size of a small child, for real.
Oh, that's Wendy's husband's cat Leo had a surgery last week and had a huge tumor removed from his neck, so he's getting a lot of treats. Karen says, I would love one of those teeny frogs, but not in gold. I would love it in gold, and I would wear it right here. Or right here, right on my forehead, right in the middle. That sounds disrespectful. So, what is that? What is that called? A bindi. That's what it's called, is a bindi.
Well, there was a dude, some rapper a few years ago, had like a giant opal that he had surgically implanted in his forehead. And I was like, that looks like some stuff my mom would do. I think he had to get it removed because it was like harming him or something. But I saw that and I was like,
you don't have to have it surgically. You could just get a circlet. You could put
like in medieval times, they had the things where they would drape it down in their forehead.
Yeah, you can go medieval times. Like you're going to the run fair. That'd be good times. You want to see something cute? Does anyone remember Candace Wakamoto when she was on the scene? I found one of these the other day in my stash. Isn't that adorable? So it's a studded heart. It's silver. It's so cute, but it's a little bit sharp. So sometimes when I'm holding it, I'm like this. A little tactile. All right, I'm going to flip this camera around. We're going to get busy because I have some things to show you. All right, we're gonna switch, and I'm going to Azalea's phone now. Let's slide it down to a good size. Back over. That was pretty smooth. Sherry says, you make that frog in gold, you'll be melting it way too soon. I don't want to make it. I don't want to melt it. I want to keep it. Oh, hello, Karen. Karen K. Wendy says, that's what you can make with some of your gold. Yes. Or, let's see what I have over here. Let's see what's in this. I had a piece over here. What did I do with it? Oh, here we go. This is what I would want in gold, is this gator. And I'd be the only one, too. Probably. Maybe. You never know what people would like. Oh, all right. So I wanted to show this. This is...
You dropped that link?
Did I drop it? I'm going to drop it again in case I forgot. I think I did. I'm sure I did. Let's see. How can I drop it again?
Oh, well, you have to just click. You have to, like, right-click and hit paste, I believe.
Sherry says, hold your gold. I don't want to hold my gold. Oh, I do want to hold my gold. But what does that mean, y'all? Paste.
And then hit send.
There I did. I did it.
Good job.
You'll be making a $10,000 frog, but it would be riveting. That's cute. That's 100% adorable. Get that out of the way. Maybe we put my other plate in there that I just got. My artisan carved plate. That's called sgraffito, if you don't know. I could do that technique all day long. Anyway, here's a kit. This is called the Lightworkers Collection. And the best part of this kit is these big chonky donk. These are centerpieces. So I divvied these up and went and high graded them. So I kept this one because I have one of them have like a little, I didn't pick the best ones for myself. I put the other ones in. I know. And usually I like to make things even. This one has a little bit of a fleck of something in there. I don't know what it is. Gold will spike. That'd be nice. If it did, then I can sell it. But that's not the intention. You know, I want to make it and then make a necklace.
They wanted to make some fancy stuff with it.
Sherry said, that's a pretty kit. It is a pretty kit. It's a real pretty kit because these big crystals. So let me tell a little bit about where I got these. I found these in Tucson a few years ago, and I used them all. And so what I do with these, I love this. And there's a bunch of them. So look how many focals we have here. I just divvied these up. I've been hanging on to them for a really long time. I was like, I'm never going to make that many necklaces. So we'll divvy it. So these guys, I think, are not for like putting a bunch of them on one necklace. But say you wanted to do like not a kit. What am I trying to say? So say you have your friends and you have a bunch of friends come over, like 5 or 6 of your friends. You could make necklaces, and these are your centerpiece. So I like to, where's that one? I like to do gems around the edge, like one-sided gems. You could do these. Really, I made these because I put these together because I thought this collection went well together as far as having some really high-quality quartz. My friend Jen told me she just, she buys and sells a lot of different minerals. And she was telling me quartz has spiked in the last, I don't know how many months, pretty like recently. And she was telling me, because I was like, hey, can we get, Azalea has the quartz frog and it looks killer. But I was like, hey, let's get the quartz one. And she was like, oh no, it's way too much money right now. I'll put these in there, this frog. So we didn't order the quartz, but because the rough was too much. So anyway, the rough that I saw in Tucson, they had this huge crystal, like this big around, right? Like, let's see if I can find the one. Like a big old double terminated. This is what the natural quartz looks like. And you can see this one isn't even as pure. So So take a look. See, it's kind of like it's really, really super clear in there. You need a big piece of quartz. And that's pretty big. I mean, look at the size. Look how clear. So this is like AAA grade of quartz on this side. This is just a sample or a specimen. There's the part where it grew. And I have one that I broke off of another thing. I was sad at first, but they call this the host rock. But the host rock that it was stuck on was really cool. And it broke, and I was kind of sad about it. And I thought about hot gluing it together, and then I thought, man, that's kind of not that great. That hot glue on my quartz, you know, how like a big old blob. Shri says, don't be surprised if we see mining opening up again. Hopefully that's not wishful thinking. I didn't know mining ever stopped. Does mining ever stop? I don't think it does. As far as, you know, like I know we just beginning to meet some actual miners at the gem club that we're part of. So anyway, let me tell more about this. I couldn't find it anymore because I use this type of quartz all the time because in my necklaces, I feel like it's an amplifying stone and it magnifies the vibrations of the other stones next to it. So I hope that doesn't sound too woo-woo for y'all. But for me, I'm a big fan and I use it. I use quartz in pretty much everything I make. Let's see what I have here. I was going to show. Oh, that's part of that lucky dip I was playing with. What was I grabbing this? I already lost my train of thought within seconds of picking that tray up. I was like, why did I get that tray again? I was going to make a necklace. Can you find me something? Or maybe I can use this piece of paper to string on.
I thought you have like
I had a
multiple
little
stringing
piece.
trays and like things that you
I know,
use
but I
to put
loaded
your
them
beads
up.
on.
They're all loaded up.
I'm not going to be able to find you anything special you using.
You can kind of see it. This thing drives me crazy. I need to just put a sticker on it and put that over it. There we go. I want to see it. It's a knot hole on this print of this wood print. I don't know why they wouldn't just sand that piece off. So you have a couple of different choices. Some are really faceted, and I evenly distributed these through 16 kits. One I kept. So they'll come in this container like this. When it's time, I'll put it in there and show you how it looks in there. But if you were to let's just make a necklace right now. Why not, right? Maybe I'll do this one. But there's a lot of choices for your what you call it, your focal. You could do like this, but it seems like that's using too much powers. Like one per necklace seems good. And I've made, you know what, the easiest one to make is to do chain. Do chain one here, and then the rest chain. Maybe even some that are dangling, and it makes her a really pretty necklace. Kind of like, I'll do this, but if I have a big focal like that, it's kind of, I don't want to say cheating, but it's less work. Not cheating. It's just a design decision that doesn't take a lot of extra work. We'll put that so you can see on the side. You know, it's cool. I got these the other day at the gem show. That was at the Hendersonville gem show. And it's cool. This is Swarovski. It's not showing all the rainbow crystals, but it's vintage. There's no holes in it. You should feel how much this thing weighs. I wish all the rainbow juiciness would show up on there, because you could see all that rainbow goodness. You know, that's one way. If you're ever wondering how to tell a diamond, like an actual diamond has a white or silver sparkle. Look how these have. See that flash of rainbow? Only crystal and moissanite do that rainbow reflection. Diamond doesn't really like to do that. I have some diamond. Where's my ring? My hand's swollen up, so I take off all my rings. You know, if you eat fries, it happens to the best of us. All right, I'm going to get some. Oh, here it is. I decided early on that I was going to make a necklace with suffix. So this is how I finished this one. I finished this one off really good. I thought I used some French wire. This is in, oh man, Karen, she went and looked up. Karen, thank you. So gold is at 38.56 an ounce. That's 170 grams. Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, somebody was telling me that silver went up to almost $50 and then it dropped down. That was like last week. Everybody was talking about the gem show. So that's bullion, and that's a way to protect your softlex. So, and then there's I finished this with a crimp, and I perfectly crimped that one. I was so happy. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes I break them because I pinch them too hard. If you pinch it too hard, guess what? It's kind of terrible. So I'll usually put like this, but I won't put all these on there. Maybe three of them, and they'll dangle, and that's my necklace. And if I use silver, then I'll charge around $50 or $60 for the work of doing all of the wire wraps, and they seem to sell well. You know, if you do one, you could turn it this way on a chain, like just like this. And this is another way that you could do that. And I might do that right now because I actually love it. But I'm just saying, like, the potential, like these could be strung this way, and there's a bunch of them and different cuts because they were all a little bit different. I found some modern ones in my collection that were really unusual, and they're just excellent quality, really good. These obviously have the best. I don't know. I say obviously, but this one has, like, I had a strand of this one type, and you can see the difference. This is still a really good piece of quartz, but you know, there's a little bit of inclusion in there. These are water clear, almost like Herkimer diamonds. Now, Herkimer diamonds, I would almost say that's actually as clear as a Herkimer, easily. And so there's some different shapes in here. Let's look at the different shapes that we have in this collection. So I mixed in this. These little white ones are the massive hole on that. Wendy, did you happen to see the massive hole? I got that in there real tight. Let's see that. So check it out. All different kinds of cuts. There's a little bit of prehnite. There's a star. Azalea picked that star out. She loved it. She was like, earrings, Ma. Or you could dangle one on the back of the necklace. I didn't get a chance to do that. I didn't finish that out, but I usually put a little Brio letter or drop right at this point. And it seems like that's like a little that's like a little, just a little extra detail that's pretty, you know, is to put a Brio let drop. I didn't quite finish this one. You know, it's for me. So that's how it goes when it's like, what do they say about like the landscaper always has like the house there, his yard is always grown up. I don't know if they can say that about a beater because I'm all the time sporting fantastic necklaces, but I didn't also finish it, so as detailed as I would for a customer. Oh, so anyway, I wanted to show. All right, let me just finish showing. Keep getting distracted. I have a little bit of pink quartz right here, some rose quartz. That a little bit of prehnite. What else do I have in here? These are white agate, but they're really, the reason I picked those out is they had an opal-y vibe. Like, don't they look like opal? It's actually an agate. And I cut a few pieces of agate pretty recently, and it has one of the most beautiful, it's just a beautiful stone. So smooth. It's just like an opal, but it's a little, it has a little bit more durability. Wendy says, drink. Yep. Yeah, you'll hear that a lot on that. You know, I don't like fighting with a bead hole. So this is a majority of a bunch of different types of quartz crystal. Our wonderful amplification stone. I had a couple of these smooth ones in there from another kit, but you know what? I wonder if I can talk about it now. It's been 18 years, but I used to do masterwork carving for a very well-known jeweler. And they had a necklace collection that featured kind of a smooth, chunky stone, and as the centerpiece. And let's see this. Of course, now that I'm looking for it, oh, shoot, I don't know what to do with it. It's probably wearing it earlier. But anyway, you would they took a strand, just like a simple string of like citrine or amethyst and finished like faceted and finished it out on either side, and that's it. And then I did the carving on the clasp at the end. And you know, those necklaces sold, I'm not even exaggerating, for like $2,500. Although I will say the clasp was 14K. So, but it was small, it was a really itty bitty one. And that was back 20 years ago. So anyway, that was one experience I have with some of these sort of smooth shape. I don't have very. There was only enough to put like one or two of those. These are from a collection I had from I don't even know how long ago, really long time ago. So the Pre-Night, I feel like it gives this kit a little bit of freshness with that pale, milky green. So let's get doing something here. Azalea's been waiting for this necklace. It's time. This isn't even the one that's for you, is it? No, this is the bigger beads. It might look better with something like this. This is a little bit finer beads. This is her necklace. Like a little bit more action. I didn't quite finish this one, but it could be done. Let's see, I'll get a little bit closer. It could be like this. That would be real pretty. And look, there's a bunch in there. So I think of these as like focals, and because they're kind of big, they're big beads, but they feel just like so magical. I couldn't resist them. I could not resist. And I have held on to this for a long time. And then, like, I thought I ran out. And then, delight of delights, I was at an estate sale probably 6 months ago with my buddy Joanne. And I happened to notice in this bag that was like behind a bunch of plastic, like pony beads. And I noticed the tag of one of my all-time favorite vendors that had gone out of business. And I was like, you must be joking me. And I grabbed it. And I was like, oh, yes. And so in it were some of these. And I hadn't been able to find them for a long time. Because the ones that I had found were kind of, they weren't as clear. They weren't as beautiful. And so it was a lucky day for me. And so that's part of this kit. I put them in there because I have enough for myself. So let's get busy. What we're going to do is, I wonder if I'm going to have time for this. Always find that I have to kind of watch the clock so I don't sit there and tell stories after the night and not even get to the finish line. Oh, there's the other one. Right over there. I think this is, check this out. This is I love this one. This soft looks fine. I kind of hesitate to use the fine because I don't need it. And usually what I like to use is the heaviest soft lux that I can get away with. This is fine. I don't need to use fine, but I really like this color. I don't know if you can get this one anymore. I think Sarah was telling me they were not making it. And I was like, dude, what? It's my favorite one. They went through a phase where they had some kind of fancy metal soft lux. So I'm going to look over here and see if I have any that is, I want medium. Okay, here's some medium in white. That's good. Then it's kind of like, see the, because that could be part of the design element too. If you use, and this is so clear. Here, I picked out all the kinds that are my favorite. I've been rationing the metal plated ones. See the look of the copper in there. I don't think it's that noticeable. I was going to say it can be part of the design element, to have a colored cord, but I don't think it matters. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the white on this particular piece. It's what I think I used I don't remember what I used on this. Yes, my precious. I have so many beads that are my precious. That is not a surprise to anyone. You know what's really my precious? I have these from my friend Anne Choi makes these. You guys look at this. This is almost, what I'm going to make with this? I'm going to make they're hollow. They're so precious. These got to cost a fortune now.
I wonder how she makes that.
I know exactly how she makes them. She showed me her method. Wow. It's a lot of work, you guys. It's a ton of work. It's made similar to how I make my coins, in that they're pushed in because you that's all the detail and all that crispness, but then they're soldered closed. It's a ton of work. It says a wish for you. Who's precious? I know they're so precious. They each say a wish. Wish. What's on the back of that one? A little wishbone. And look how cute that one of them has a basket. That one has a hat. But this is from my friend Ann Choi. That has an apple and an acorn. This has a basket. This is a particularly good one. And a star. Oh, Wendy, those are not a cheap date. No. These little ones, yeah, they're like, at the time I bought them, I think they were like $30 each. But not anymore, probably. That was back when silver was like maybe 30-ish. I put one, this one, and it's in, I cannot remember what this means. Is it pictographs when you use, what is that? Do you remember what that's called when you use symbols instead of letters to make the language? Symbology, pictographs, I don't know. And it says, a secret, I love you. Isn't that sweet? And I put it on this necklace. I've been changing this around a lot. So I put, these are some probably smoked opal, because I learned so much. I need to get my notebook out. I made notes of that, of the different types of opal. Oh yeah, they're not 30 anymore. Melanie says, love Ann Choi. Yes. And the best part, she's awesome. I don't know if you ever met her, but she's a wonderful person. When I first met her, I don't know what I was expecting. I met her probably in the mid 90s at one of my very first shows at the Atlanta Horse Barn, the Horse Association, something like that. And she strolled in. I didn't know who she was. She said, are you Cynthia? I don't know if I can get her. She has a very pronounced Southern accent, y'all. I just threw that in there for y'all. A very pronounced Southern accent. It's very unusual to see an Asian gal with a Southern accent, and I instantly loved it. Not for her accent, but she's also really smart and wonderful. But I did have a moment of making her deeply uncomfortable because I was like, Anne, I love your work. I mean, I really love it. She was like, thank you. Back away from me, please. She's not one for showing too much like adoration at once. And I usually don't either, but I got wild with it. Like, I think I have my hands in front of me in like a position of like, I don't even know. I remember it's like my eyes were all big. And she goes, you aren't what I expected either, because I ordered beads from her. So these are those smoked opals anyway. And some of these guys, if you like these, that's in some of my mini lucky dip that we just did. And I have more of these too. So if you like that look and you're like, I want to do that, and this is the crochet. This is crochet actually. So if you like that, I have a few more strands that I'm going to tuck into the next lucky dip, which reminds me, off topic again. Wendy says Southern accent. Yeah, she's in Atlanta. Oh, our friend Ann Gardan. Hey, Ann. Now this is, you guys aren't even going to believe it. Did I show what this was? I don't think I showed the bag. But I would like to know if you guys can guess this stone, because this is going into the next mini lucky dip. Check out this cut. This is unreal. I found this in some of my stash upstairs, and that I'd hidden away for myself in a safe place. There was a bunch of other stuff with it. But any guesses to what this is? Check it out. They're microfaceted rondelles. Isn't that cool? And I loved them, but I didn't want. They were so pricey. I was like, I don't know how I'm like. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. At first, I thought I was gonna make myself a necklace, but then I thought maybe earrings. I don't know. Like, I didn't want to share. I was getting so greedy. Oh, hello, June. Our friend June. Pat says topaz. June, you named it zircon. So this is golden zircon. And I got them because my friend over at Sona, she says to me, she goes, Cynthia, I know you love champagne diamonds. and I saved these for you. She had them under the table, and she brought it out. She had only this strand, and she goes, check these out. She goes, these are called golden zircon. It's completely natural. She handpicked the material, and she'd been sitting on it. She was like, I wanted to test this out on you, and if you like it. She's like, if you like it, I'll have more made. But then when she went to have more made, guess what? She was like, I couldn't find the rough anymore. So I got the sample, the one and only sample. So anyway, that's going into the next Lucky Dip Small. So these are actually kind of a little bit big. They have a small and there's a little bit big. But I know, look at the micro faceting on that. They're amazing. That color range, you don't usually see it, and it's not, there's no anything extra. That's just the natural stone. They're very hard, so that's why you get that hard sparkle. I think they're only under a sapphire in that regard. I know, beautiful, and they're heavy. You should feel how heavy these are. Anyway, I'm excited. That's going in the next one. So I'm already starting to collect the next round for our next one. Maybe we'll have it. I was hoping that we'll have it for the TGB on October 17th and the 19th. Our day is on the Sunday at 2:30. So if you want to watch that, tune in. It's usually with a big crowd show up, a really big crowd. So it's kind of exciting. This is one of my little tricks, is to use this egg tray. And it works great to keep my little projects separate. Where'd the other one go? Oh, here we go. So anyway, there's that. Okay, I will choose this one. And I wanted to make a soft flex necklace. Let's see. We'll just start from the middle. I'm starting at this point. Too much storytelling for one. I don't know how big I want this. How wide. You know, it'd look good as rubies. Rubies on either side all the way up. Oh, man, that would look good with your bumblebees. Heck yeah. I have a couple, and I keep forgetting. Did I even put those out? I don't remember if I did. I saw that tin or that little box somewhere, and I do not remember what I did with it. Let's see how long. I'm measuring this against my neck right now, checking the length. Oh, Jillian, I meant to send you a message today because I have something thank you for reminding me. I have something for you. So this is a necklace I've been working on for Jillian. Check it out. I made a rainbow. Check out all this cheddar on this. It's carved ruby. I just kind of went by, if you ever checked out my book, Enchanted Adornments, the premise of that book is, like, the understory in there is making something for a friend by description and the feel of like the emotion, and trying to make something that goes along with the description of what they're looking for. And so this I was given, like, I don't have the email right in front of my face of what the descriptor tagline of things to put in, but I just went and found things that had a connection to the moon, to the night, to kind of a smoky look. And I have a lot of opals. Look at this peridot. Some really high quality. That's some really beautiful lapis. And then there's some that are flat. Some teeny pearls in there. There's a little smoky gray pearl. There is, wow, I found these hessonite garnets. I cut this necklace up to get them. And they had that champagne diamond look. So I bought the strand of it. And I have been rationing those out. And I put some of those in mini Lucky Dip. So anyway, this is what's happening. It took me forever to find this in my stash. That's what the holdup is because I was looking high and low for more Hill Tribe. I didn't, I went to my friend Hands of the Hills, Ramsey. He didn't have any more. He had a different shape. But then I went through some of my, so I have all these little tins like this. They're all over my studio, and they're not labeled. They're just full of stuff. And one day I'm going to get around to labeling them. But so far they're stacked up. So anyway, this is the necklace, and I put it on Instagram, so hopefully that looks, it got a lot of traction. I haven't been really 100% awesome on making posts on the internet just because it's been hard to get myself motivated to do. Y'all know the feeling. I'm looking for cutters. So this is the Soft Flex. This is medium, should fit everything. Now, if I were to use some of those little small rubies that I was looking for just now, I would use the fine because that would be a better option because usually they have kind of small holes. These have a nice big hole. All right, let's see. Let's go use some of these other ones in here. I'm just going to throw them in. What else? We can do that. We need some spacers. So my method of stringing is always kind of where, like this way, I cut everything. And I will restring and string like 10 times over. So this is probably, unless someone is saying you have this many minutes to finish it, then I will agonize and take apart things and put it back together all day long. Because, that's kind of where I find the enjoyment is taking them apart and putting them back and choosing and picking. It's kind of fun. This has a little tiny bit of rose quartz. I just noticed it down there, so that's why I'm picking up this rose quartz. Let's see what those look like. Is this going to be? Part of me is like, am I going to go the route of symmetry? I don't know. It's the easiest. Sometimes it can be the easiest solution. That's silver. Yeah, I just have it all out. What happens when I walk away from the... Here we go. Let me see. Some of these eyes might be cool. These are some more Hill Tribe. I've been collecting this stuff for years. Let's see what looks good with this. I don't know. Lately, I've been in that palette. Can you tell? I think that'll be pretty. Well, Azalea, do you think I should do symmetry this time? This is not symmetrical, but it kind of feels like it's symmetrical. So Kate has these things that you can protect your ends. So if you walk away, they're like a little spring and you can just pinch them. And that's on Bead Shop. I have some here. They're usually right under my fingertips, but I don't see it right now for whatever reason. All right, I'm going to put more silver. So if you put silver on, just keep in mind any metal that you add adds to the weight. So you got to be mindful of your weight, especially if you have a sensitive chi or energy like me. Oh, that's kind of a pinkish color. This is a pink. Oh, what are you doing, Marty? What are you getting? You can hear him. He's gouging something.
No gouging, baby.
He's a good cat. Sometimes he scratches up my stuff over there. I think that looks good so far. Get it happening. Something bigger. I could go, let me put more spacers. Why not, right? I have these. These are so weird. This was kind of impulse buy. You ever do that? So impulse buy. Well, I gotta hunt that one because that's probably like who knows how much in silver. Let's see how that looks on this side. I bought them because they're kind of a neat flower, but the only thing is that they're kind of hard to figure out how to string. So let's see how it looks with that. I don't know. That might be pokey. I usually put things that are pokey on my necklaces. I don't know why sometimes I'll do that. Usually I save them for my personal ones because people don't like it. So they are like, why is this? And they'll feel it right away before they buy it. And they're like, hey, this has got some pokey parts. All right, that's looking pretty cool. Love it. All right, now let's see. Maybe I'll change the shape up. Something about, when you have the visual weight. Right now, I have a tendency to I want to go large, but it tends to be heavy. So what I'm going to do is maybe go small from here on out. I could do seed beads. I don't know if I want to do seed beads. Maybe metal beads that are really lightweight, that are hollow. That could be cool. That looks pretty neat so far. Yeah, I love it. That one is like, it's like, even though the dark crystal is purple, that gives me vibes of like something magical. I'm a big fan of quartz. I know some people are like, well, it's like the poor man's diamond or whatever. And I don't really care about that. I think that even though it's just clear, it's just so perfectly wonderful in what it is. It's natural. It grows like that. It's like so magical. It's like water that's been solidified. I'm being more frugal with my silver. They're heavy. Oh, Wendy, you've never had an impulse buy? That's nice because I often have an impulse buy. Often. Maybe not often, like every day, but there are times when something will arrive and Azalea's like, what is this blobfish that's squishy? Why do we have this? Or like, why do we have this? It's why we have these things, squishy things. Well, called impulse buy. Karen K says the color makes it delicate looking. Yeah, for like they're kind of chunky chunk beads, but the delicate small things in there, the palette gives it a little bit of another different look, I think. And how will I finish this? Let's see. Maybe a star button or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's going to be very symmetrical at this point. I might just tear everything off. You never know what's going to happen. I have some really small, super small silvers I could put in between these, and just maybe every 3 if you don't want to put them like super consistently. Colite says clear quartz amplifies the vibrations of the stones around it. Yes, that's why I like it, and I feel like that's true. I don't usually wear too much of like the Herkimer diamonds. They're like too powerful. They're too like it feels too much. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like too intense. Some of you might be saying, really? But it's a true story. What are we made out of? Like, what is the makeup of our being? Same stuff that is all throughout the universe. Same minerals. Iron in our blood. What are our bones made out of? Wendy says, it means more silver. I'm starting to like prehnite. I got a lot of prehnite. I have a weak spot for prehnite. It's like a fresh green that's so subtle and pretty. It's kind of like, these are kind of make me think of opal-y colors. Like the white opal is this blend here. Need more silver.
Sorry, you guys.
What is it?
The sirens.
Oh, I didn't even hear it. I just tune it out. Yeah, we live at the base, right above or below our house. Like one lot away is the fire department. So
That's good for
occasionally,
if something happens to us.
yeah, it's good. They'll be here in like 1 second. They can just climb up the hill, and here we are. So
Well,
pretty good. Looking good. What do y'all think? What kind of clasp should I put on this? Man, maybe that. Maybe this. What do you guys think? Little gator. Is that cute? That's probably not the thing. What about this? Star? Star seems more magical.
I like a star.
I know. I tend to love that star. What else can I put on there?
This one-step looper is fun to use.
Let me see. Bring it over here. Bring that one-step looping. Little Yaya has been making. Little daughter.
This
Check
is
it
going to
out.
be the little centerpiece at the bottom, and it's going to have a dingle-dangle that comes off the bottom of it.
Bring that over here.
So that's going to attach, and it's going to be a long necklace, and then from the bottom of the compass is going to be one of those little consider the flowers crosses.
Oh, nice.
It's black tourmaline and garnet.
Nice. I like this piece. This piece looks good. Oh no, do you guys know this one? It has the north, east, southwest in this eye, so it's like follow your own direction. Okay, I see some stuff here. Melanie says star. Y'all say star. Yeah. Karen also lives next to a fire department. And that's good times. It's good because you don't want to wait like half an hour for your, if you're in danger. Maybe another one here. Sometimes I like to just change it up. I don't know how this will look, but you never know. I could, and you know what I do sometimes is I'll take everything off of here and start over. I try not to do that, but when I do, I'll usually make the necklace one more time, at least. Because sometimes it's good to make them in. If you find a good pattern, just make it a couple times because you'll probably sell it if you're selling necklaces and jewelry like I am. Like I'll copy this so that I don't have to do the design work every single time, because the design is work for me anyway. It takes me forever to come up with something that. And if you have enough beads, like I have enough beads to recreate, say if I was going to make another one of these, I could recreate it. A little harder with some of the other things because, sometimes you don't have if you don't have a ton of something. Let's see, I'm going to put more, I'm going to fill it out with some of these smalls. Oh, I forgot, there's also, I didn't notice, these are some really good quality rainbow moonstone in there. They get tucked in. They're really pretty. Good quality. You can mine rainbow moonstones around here. I'm going to put something a little bit bigger in there. But they have black in it. And it's okay. But I like it better when it's kind of a smooth, unmarred amount of stone. But these are, that's kind of luscious. Karen's is very nice, and Wendy's is very nice. I like your work.
Oh, thanks.
So I'm swapping this. This is very symmetrical. I don't usually make a lot of symmetrical things. I feel like that is whenever I'm making something that's very symmetrical, it's kind of like smooth brain time. Time to just look. And I'm making them smaller and smaller as I go up the chain. Feels kind of natural to do it this way. Get on there, you. It actually looks pretty good on that white. The white cord. Pretty nice. Hey, what else is happening, Azalea?
Well, you're working with the kit right now,
Yeah.
and we dropped the link to that. You could always
Yeah.
do it again if there's new people in that haven't seen it yet.
Oh, so this is the, what did we call it? The energy workers kit. Oh,
Light workers.
The light worker. Energy light. I didn't notice this, but check this cutout. I don't know if you can see this. This is that agate. It's really smooth, really pale, almost opaly, and almost like milk glass. It has that kind of sheen, but they're like almost like little, like a gourd. Kind of has like a kabocha pumpkin. Those pumpkins from Japan. Anyway, I like those pumpkins. Yeah, so plenty of these would make good earrings, although they might be a little on the heavy side for earrings, but they make great pendants. So you get a lot of focals out of this blend right here. Check how much is left. I'm still working on this necklace. So I got these at a pretty good discount. So I passed that on. Now this kind of stone to get this quality is a lot more. A lot more. If you go to Tucson Gem Shows, you check it out, and it's way more than expected. At least than I expected. That's the hard thing is when you have like 90s prices in your mind and you try to shop and there's always like, look at this. I'm like, no way. Too much. We'll just go to our people that we know. All right, let's see how much more I have to go. What do you think, little daughter?
It looks cute. It looks like something I would wear.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll make it for you.
I do like a shorter necklace usually because I get caught on things with long necklaces. I got that clumsiness a little bit. You getting caught on stuff.
Yeah, that little bit of prehnite, I think it's pretty. See how it has those little pieces of mica in there? That's what our local moonstone looks like. It has those flashes, but it has that little bit of mica in there that's black. Sometimes if you look under magnification, you can see if it's actually mica or if it's little rutiles. If it's little like rutilated quartz, those little threads can be very cool. Sorry, sniffling. A little bit.
We all got a little bit of a cold.
Well, Max is back into school. He's when the kids go back to school, they sort of track in their runny noses. But for me, I think it's actually not that. I think it's just the air pressure because it's been a little weird. Everybody around has been having some ultra PTSD because they were saying hurricane and everybody went and bought water, filled up the tub. And it was just like a regular storm from like the old times of every other time Asheville. Sheree says it's very pretty and it seems different from what you usually make. It is. It's a little bit different. Wendy says, isn't that too much for your delicate chi? Well, one thing I will say is these aren't double terminated. The only double terminated is right here on this pink quartz. The other thing was like it's like too much quartz, but I don't think so. And if it is, I'll give it to Azalea. She doesn't have a problem with it. Oh, thank you, Karen. Karen says it's so pretty. Yeah, if it were usually, if I had time to agonize, I might rip it apart and then put the clasp right here. That's Cynthia Thornton style. And it's big. The clasp is big. It's right there. Yeah, I just like this blend of stones. And then did you see this? Did I already say this? Look at how cute these are. It's charming. Delightful. And then these little tabs, little rectangles. I thought these would make good earrings. Pretty good quality. So I think there's enough in there of this shape to do, let's see. I think there's enough to do 2 pairs. I divided it up. Pairs of earrings. Sheree says, that's something I would wear too. Yeah, this is very... I think this has a larger audience than some of the other things I've made. But this would match a lot. You know what it reminds me of? I have a pretty good collection of necklaces from the 50s. And this is what like those, I guess you call it a choker. Like, wouldn't you say, Zoya, when you wear it high and tight up in your neck?
I guess you could call it a choker. I feel like I associate the word choker with like those 90s web net looking.
Okay, so not a choker. What would y'all call it? If it's not a choker and it's like a 50s where it goes really high on your throat, what would you call it if it's not
I guess you could. I mean, I don't know.
choker.
It's just it's just a short necklace. I'm not sure.
Short necklace. There's also these. This look at that sparkle. Sheree says long necklaces don't look right if your chest does not match in dimensions. I don't know what that means. Princess length. Oh, there it is. I love a long necklace, but I don't know if that matches my chest dimension. I wear all
Well,
kinds. Does that mean your
maybe
chest
it's
dimension? Like
maybe
if
we're
it's
talking about like maybe it's
the neckline. Neckline, I think she means.
yeah. I mean, you and I both have kind of short torsos because we're short. So
Oh.
long necklaces kind of look a little bit goofy, a little bit when
Nah,
you've
not
got
on
a
me.
short torso and a
No, I
long
don't care.
necklace. It
I
doesn't
like a
it doesn't
long
have to
necklace.
it doesn't have to rule you. I think that's just visually sometimes what can happen.
I see. Sheree, is that what you mean? That it's not
Maybe
the right?
I might just be making that up though. I don't know.
Well,
I just know from me personally, there's like for fashion at least when I sew clothes, there's some like if I'm trying to make a Victorian dress, that's very like the bodices are pointed in the front, so it's like the waist and torso is very accentuated and like this the center part of the outfit, and that's when they do all the decorations. But if you kind of have to keep trimming down the bodice because your torso is kind of short, it can end up looking like I don't know. Sometimes when I make clothes upstairs and I have it on the dress form, I was telling Sam the other night, I was like, I have to keep trimming down the bodice for my torso, and I have to keep trimming down the skirt because I have like, I can't wear a super long skirt. And then I put it on the dress form, it looks like a dress for a child, like a little kid, because it's so like condensed, shortened.
I'm gonna try these to finish it out. So what I'm doing now is I find if you don't have a little bit of other weight on the back, it can make it where it feels like front heavy. Does that make sense? Front heavy? Like it pulls on your neck. So I'm trying to balance that out. Boy, those have a small hole. I watched a video. Hey, maybe I'll take this apart. I made this little bracelet. And maybe I'll cut that apart. But I have a bronze one. That might be pretty. Yeah. And then this, I was carrying this around. This is a Shibuichi Just to Begin Again. This one, that's one of my new favorites. Pretty new within the last year or so. And I've been putting this on like bracelets at the charm, just as a little reminder that in any moment you can just decide to begin again. It's pretty cool. That's from the Waking Up app. Y'all aren't tired of hearing me talk about that. Put a little silver on it. Boy, they're kind of hard to get out of the bottom of this thing here. Wendy says, I feel it depends on what you're wearing, what kind of neckline it has too, different looks too. And then Sheree says, the great disappearing necklace. Oh, I see it. Oh, and then if you have big breasts, the necklace falls to the center.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have found
okay.
that whenever I
see
have a
what you
shirt
mean.
that the neckline.
Okay. Because
It goes in
usually, I guess I don't wear that kind of bra. Like it's like more like everything is kind of a united front.
Like a sports bra,
Oh yeah, that's
where it's just flat in the front. Yeah, then it's a
little
little. Then you don't have the crack that it can fall into.
Mm-hmm.
I have that sometimes, and
Yeah,
it's
the
annoying.
crack.
If the necklace is that length, that's where it's going to be. There's
Maybe
no
I'll put
way.
some of these are kind of lightweight. Let's try those too. So sometimes I'll change it up and see what happens. I have some lightweight. These are rolled, and sometimes I use those as like a curtain cover because they're hollow. And you know what else? You can split them, kind of like a bead cover if you need to. But boy, they're kind of hard to fish out of this little box. You can barely see them. Let's see what those look like to put that on there. Just to see. See how big? And they're not soldered, they're just rounded and stamped. Let's see what that looks like. It's okay. I don't know if I like it. I'll keep going smaller. So I have these, they're stamped. Or if you have pewties, you can use pewties, but I've already started this with silver. I kind of hate to do that, even though usually it doesn't bug me. Get in there, you. Wendy says, you seriously need to try a push-up bra, friend. I can't remember the last time. Like, that's the time when you have nothing else to wear. All your laundry needs to be washed. That's the only time those underwear are coming out, if I can find them.
I think nowadays you could find a push-up bra that's like that doesn't have the underwire. I have a couple because I have I kind of sometimes I need them because I'm not like the same size on both sides. Sometimes that happens, like when you try to go and buy a standard bra, both cup sizes are obviously going to be identical, but some people don't have that.
That means, you know what that means? You have to draft your own. I had a friend that made.
You either have to draft your own, or if you can't draft your own, the push-up one does kind of help sometimes. But that just depends on how much push-up you're getting. Because one time I accidentally bought one because it didn't show a picture of the inside, and the foam was thick.
Oh, thick foam.
They put a thick foam for the push-up part.
Karen says, unless you wear a proper bra, ex-lingerie model here. Not that you could tell today. LOL. And then Wendy says, you are too much of a nerd, but it suits you. Oh, I know. That's the thing is what happens when you have like really weird sensory issues, I guess. That I didn't even know that they were called that until like last week.
What?
Like sensory, like people, like I never thought people were like, oh, you just have sensory. I was like, sensory? Like, what do you mean? Because I don't like to wear tight stuff and like tight pants. The other day I was flipping out because my pants felt too tight, and Zoe's like, go change your pants. She just knew what was wrong with me. She looked at me and says, your pants are tight.
Well, we're together all the time.
That's your issue. Your pants are tight. All right. All right, how's that look? Let's put a clasp on it. What do you think? Is that try this on because you can wear this? Do you think you wear it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let me come over there.
No, did I make it too long? Well, check the look.
No, it's not long.
We'll check it for you because I'll change it and so hold it good. Otherwise, it'll all go everywhere. I couldn't find those little. I've got like a million of those little clips, but not one right underneath my fingertips.
Yeah, see? I think this is where it's the beads are touching. I can't tell.
Ooh, here's some of the
Yeah, see,
French.
this is the
wire.
true
I
light
love this
where the
stuff.
beads touching.
Do you like that, or do you want shorter? Remove some of
No,
those ones.
that's nice. I don't need it
'Cause
to
it'll
be
be a
choking
little-
me out. That looks
it'll
good. It'll be a
be-
little longer because of class, I know, but that looks good. That's really pretty. I like the subtle pink and green on that. With the clear is scrumptious.
Don't bother that boy cat.
You
She
hear that?
just
He'll
walked
fry
up
you.
and he was like, no. Sometimes he doesn't have a lot of patience for Azalea's shenanigans.
Because I always want to kiss him and, kiss his paws. And then he's mad because earlier I kissed his cheeks and he had light lipstick on. So he's got pink cheeks.
Okay, I'm just dropping it to go
He doesn't like
tight
that.
focus. Sherry says, you need cutlets for the small side. Cutlets.
Stop crying, baby.
You guys talking about those little pieces of foam that I pull out of bras?
You kind of smell like a stink bug.
Oh, no. Did he go after a stink bug?
I smelled his body. He smelled like a stink bug.
All right, so this, I like using this French wire. This is fun. Now this, if you look real close, you can see it's actually a little spring. I have it in silver and gold. I think it'll look good in, which star do you think, guys? Silver Azalea, the pewter? I don't have them, or maybe I do have them in silver. What do you think?
A what?
I can do a silver one. I just don't have it right in front of me. I have to
like a
hunt for
button?
it. Yeah, like this one. Do you want it in silver or pewter?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'll have to put it on later. Karen says, what is this? I'm back behind. Wendy says, actually in those cool Victorian wear, high collar look, Azalea, a push-up bra would look awesome on you. And the tighter necklace. Yeah, that seems right. Karen says, you need to be fitted properly. I used to fit bras to people as well. I also took a course in bra making. I gave up.
I actually did a little bit of bra
to
making
fit.
recently to fit myself. I was
Oh,
having
we were
an
looking at
interesting
Regency
time doing
bras because they were kind of like a sports bra.
a Regency bra, like the wrap ones, seem like that would be your style, your flavor, because they provide the support, but they don't squeeze at the waist because that was not the time. And so they would basically, you put it on like you're putting on like a vest or something, and then you would wrap each side around, and then it would come right back around to the front, and then you just lock it in the front. So it was like a wrap bra. And they did a good job with that. I've never made anything like that though, because those patterns are kind of hard to find. But I have made the Regency stays that are like the traditional lacing ones, and those are pretty supportive. They're pretty good. I like that almost better than I like a regular bra. But the only downside to it is that it's a little bit thick. So if you try to wear it underneath your regular clothes, it looks funny.
Okay, I see Wendy says cutlets are a teensy bit stickier so they don't slide out. And then Sherry says cutlets are little push-up silicone pieces. They look like raw chicken. Oh, I did
The
see those one
chicken
time. I don't know
breast.
would that even work? I don't know if it would work on me. They seem like they're for like really small. Like that's I don't know if I trust that. So here's the dilemma right here. So these little silver beads, look, there's no room to shove this medium thick soft flex. Oh, Ann says, as long as we're on the subject, does anyone out there recommend a good brand name for a no wire, good support bra for large breasts, no padding? Yep. Drop that in there if you guys know of a good brand, because that's always something we want to know about, right?
Maybe Skims.
Oh, I heard Skims were good. I heard about that. They looked good in the picture. I got the ad from when I'm watching.
I don't know
Mel
what kind of
Robbins.
padding you mean. I don't know if you mean like you don't
She
want
don't
any.
need padding. She said
Well,
no.
no, I mean like I don't know if that means push-up bra padding or if it's fine just to have the single layer of the foam in the front. That's pretty standard for almost like every bra ever.
Mm-hmm.
But like
light padding you need, or just not
yeah,
even.
and no wire. Yeah, I think I've seen some by Skims would be a good place to look. You know.
Karen says, I like empire dresses. I'm too busty for those. Yeah, I know the feeling. My wedding dress was kind of an empire style, and I feel like I was a tiny bit busty for it.
I thought you looked cute in the pictures.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Ann says, I hope we don't get kicked off. That's, if we can't discuss this amongst, like, people, come on now, y'all. Nobody
you
better
are
report
allowed
us.
to Facebook and YouTube. You're allowed to talk about pretty much whatever you want. You just their biggest thing that they get mad about is if you're showing stuff that's inappropriate or playing copyrighted music.
Okay. Now I took these off because there is no way I'm going to get double thick soft lux through there, so I have to change that goal. So sometimes you have to change it. I thought I was done and I was going to be able to be like, guess what? Here we are, one done in an hour. But it looks like I need to revisit and find some other beads that are, not too heavy, but not too light, and also fit double amount this. So, and I'm already past the hour mark. All right, Gumnut Shaper Mint is a good wire-free bra. I've heard that
I've
brand
heard them too. Yeah.
And Bliss from Lane Bryant, as Melanie says. I don't know that one, but I have heard Shaper Mint.
Shaper Mint and Skims are the ones.
Sherry says umpire dresses made me look pregnant, but I like them. Oh, I did also look pregnant.
I think in the time period, it was like, it was common to have very little gathering in the front of the dress and like heavy gathering in the back of the dress, like with almost box pleats, because it would be like super duper full in the back, and then it would kind of balance it out and make you look less pregnant. But I think I like wearing the empire dresses.
Because they're supposed to fall. You had to have the right body type for it, I think. Well, it seems like it favored
I really felt like that just the other night. I had made a fall front dress. It's a technique of it's a type of Regency dress that I've never made before, and that I didn't even buy a pattern for, that I had to draft my own. And when I was doing my test fitting, I remember being like incredibly disgusted, because then when I went to go and check it in the mirror, I felt really frumpy, And so then I sat down, I was all like sad about it, and I was like, okay, what can I do that will make this look better? And I realized when I looked at it, is I drafted my own sleeve pattern, and while it looked correct in the back, I think the sleeve part was too wide and too short. So that can sometimes, if you I think Regency sleeves are either the short puppy ones, or if they were long, they were very slim and very long. So it kind of, it's all about that visual balance, I think, with historical fashion. That's why they made the things the way they did with the different pattern pieces. Doesn't work with a modern sleeve pattern. Makes your shoulders look too wide.
Yeah.
And then it makes it look weird. So I was actually almost ready to wear that, but when I did my final fitting or my final test wear, I was like, oh my goodness. I have to take the sleeves out completely and redo them.
Oh. Well, sometimes they fit. You don't know what's going to happen until you try it on.
I love
I have
Regency
made
dresses.
some of the ugliest things y'all have ever seen.
Disgustingly educated in Regency dresses.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I don't know about disgusting. That's
disgustingly educated. Well, it's because it's nerdy and goofy to be so knowledgeable about one small period of time in fashion.
You're just like my buddy Weasel.
I know.
You have that.
We're the same.
Yeah, you have that love of detail. We could hardly watch a movie. We were watching, what was that movie we were watching? Elizabeth, and she'd lean over and she goes, actually, that's not accurate to the time period. I'm like, girl.
Sometimes it can be annoying.
Stop telling me.
I'm sorry. It's just sometimes it's annoying.
Stop
when you're watching it.
Camera out there. Let me redo this. See, here's the redo part. Like I get up to the end, you all know the same thing. Put some of these on.
It's like the new Wuthering Heights movie.
Listen, you guys are all talking about who's seen what, where. Wendy's like, I've seen Big. Well, you know what? I went to, many times have I gone to the Korean spa and everybody's naked. And I took Azalea. How old were you when you went to the Korean spa? You were 12. And at first she was like, I don't know if I'm going to go out there. I said, all ladies, all shapes and sizes. And she's like, okay. It took her like 3 seconds. And she took off stark naked. No weirdness. It was all ladies. And it was good because then you could see every shape, size, and color. And it was nice, every age. So you had like Azalea's 12-year-old self to... Wasn't Diane there? I think Diane was there. Yeah, Diane was there. So you could see it was Jess, Diane. Who else was there? We had a whole group of our... Kate was there.
I was just about to say, I was like, I think I remember Kate being there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kate. And so you were exposed to every type of body type that day. That was good. So I changed those up and those will all fit through. So that's good. That's good news. But then this crimp might slide through. So I'm going to have to hang on to it. I don't know. Maybe it won't. That's a good day. And I'm going to use this French wire as my thing for this. We'll see. I think it'll work perfectly. Hopefully it's not too big. I hate that story when that happens. I'm going to put my glasses on. Or optimizers, I mean. Oh, Wendy says you could make boatloads of money, Azalea, if you went into fashion design for movies.
And then I don't even know how you get that gig.
Most movies are hardly ever accurate.
I think you have to have all sorts of types of training and like college to be able to go and do something in the movie industry. I mean, I would totally do it. I would have a fun time doing it. I don't know if
you need that. I think it's based on who you know. I would actually say who you know and who can get you in past the line.
I have seen some ugly looking costumes in movies, so
we do. I would love to make them. So you would actually come on, get in there. If you don't trim these just right, like I need new cutters. These are really dull. Come on, you saw how dull that was? That was horrible.
There's some cutters right here you lent me a minute ago.
Oh, I got it. So this it's kind of fun. I haven't tried it this way in a while for this particular use because usually I put seed beads, but we're going to see how it looks. Like I like to use a seed bead loop for my loops to hold the buttons in place, and it looks good. Sometimes it looks good, but I'm changing it up. I'm trying this look with bullion. Now I think that it comes in a bunch of different sizes, but in the jewelry world, I think it's only like these kind of small. But usually you see this in embroidery. That's the first time I heard of it, and I didn't realize that they even made this for jewelry. I guess I should have. That's what it's for. But in embroidery, let me see if you can see this. Oh, Anne says if you have a local theater company, that might be a good way to get some experience.
That's
Yeah, I said that too. That's what I
yeah.
said. And Karen says, at first I was uncomfortable modeling lingerie in front of both sexes until I realized you're just another faceless body. Well, you know what? We are all just matter and blood and bone. And there's no reason to feel weird about your body.
Yeah, shame needs to die out.
Yeah, I hate the shame game. And listen, I say that without sounding like I'm all like, yeah, we need to get rid of that. But listen, it took me a long time to go with my friend to that Korean spa. Many years of them saying, you'll have a good time, just let it go. We all have the same thing. Because it's only ladies. They didn't have the dudes in there staring.
Because I wouldn't be going in there if there are the dudes in there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, honey, do you have that green handled? I need that green handled. It's right by where you're sitting. I just made a new friend that has her family's in the bridal industry, and I sent her a message asking about if they had any openings for Azalea to learn some tailoring. And I think in the bridal industry, that would be good experience because it's similar to what you're doing. So hopefully we hear back from our new friend. Met at a bead show around town. Well, not a bead show, I mean a craft show.
Yeah, I've been applying to some places.
Azalea's looking for a little bit of extra work so she can get out of the house, meet people and be, sometimes it's isolating, and I don't know, sometimes it's good to be able to get out and do some things, meet different folks, especially when you're not in school. Okay, so look at the size of those bead holes. That fits good. Yes. All right, so that's how, and look at this. It slid right over top of that. So that's the finish. If you look very carefully, you can see it's like a little metal spring. It looks tidy. Doesn't that look tidy? Yeah, Wendy says, some things are easier to say, but hard for us personally to do. Oh, well, I would have, if you told me that, a while ago, I'd been like, no way. I'm not going to any kind of, I don't want anyone to see what I got. I was very self-conscious for many, many years and really wore kind of modest clothing. I'm not sure. Because, my mom is Catholic. And there's a lot of, oh my gosh, I forgot to check this to make sure I cut that and didn't check it. Okay, come on now, because I will dictate. Just by, oh no, Azalea, I'm going to have to pick another thing because look, it barely fits. No, it's not going to fit. So don't make the same mistake as me, y'all. Look what I did. I could file that down on the corners. Okay, I might do that. So I'll make another wax and I'll file down that star because I'm determined to use it. But I didn't measure it closely. I just eyeballed it, and that's what happens when you eyeball. It's not going to fit. So this side didn't fit. So that's, for me, got kind of hung up on those few issues. Oh, cool. When he says Coolio looks perfect, thank you, but it doesn't fit that. So Sheree Miller says, the movie industry is not a great place. My great-grandmother and my husband were in it. The bridal industry would be great for Azalea. I think depending on the people around you, because my friend Bob, he's in the movie industry and he's great people. But we lived out in LA and worked in Hollywood for like Greg did. I did not do that much work just because that wasn't my jam at the time. But I can see where you're coming from. It can be a lot of high pressure and a lot of kind of damaging ideas. Hopefully this fits you.
People.
Here, try this on. Try this on, see if that fits. Because I didn't put it. I didn't tighten it because I took off some beads. That might be too tight for you. Oh, Sheree says a small moon. Yeah, the small moon. Actually, I do have that.
Yeah, this is nice.
Is that too tight?
No.
Oof, it's almost one. I do have a moon clasp. I have a different one. Yeah, I do. But it is not right under my fingertips at this moment. So I have to go to dig for it in one of my tins. All right, so that's what we have. Oh no, there's a moon right here. That might be pretty. That would fit. Let's sample it.
Stop barking. I'm kissing this cat. Is making a barking sound. You're supposed to be a cat.
This will easily work. I know I don't even have to check it, but because that's massive. Usually for this, it's like this. It's small. We'll sample. This one needs to be drilled out though. That's why it's sitting there because I forgot. This one had an air bubble, so I set it aside, and it needs a little bit of. Need to hit with a drill. I won't use that one right now. Shoot. All right. Well, that's my stopping point, I guess. What do y'all think? Looks pretty good. Kind of dainty. Look, we put that. I don't think the gator quite matches it. I have a bunch of other ones. I have some in the store, but I didn't want to take them out and use them in case somebody else wanted it. I put one of these on there. You see, this is so cute. My friend Leanne Hartman made this. Isn't this adorable? I collected all of them. And I was like, I'm going to make some more fruits and vegetables to go with it. And so far, I have a carrot. What else? Did I make another kind of vegetable? I feel like I did.
I don't know if you did. I can't remember. Probably.
Karen says, my great uncle worked in Hollywood too and was editor for 17 magazine in the 40s or 50s. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Well,
okay,
I am not trying to go all the way out to Hollywood.
Yeah, Zoe doesn't want to go to Hollywood. She just wanted to upgrade her. I was like, maybe you could take some classes. The classes we looked at were not. Okay, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging here about Azalea, but her skills overshadowed that that the classes offered. You could get basic classes, but not like high detail.
Well, when you're homeschooled during the pandemic and you have an interest in historical fashion and you have patterns and fabric, then something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. I had years worth of time to experiment and nothing else to do.
All right, so this is our Lightworkers kit. If you're interested, I'll drop that link one more time. We have 15 of this. It's pretty limited. Pretty limited. Oh, what am I doing? I was like, how do I do it again? Here we go. Paste. And go. And so that's what I used. I used up a lot of the small ones out of that, but there's still the best part of this kit's the big ones anyway. So look at all that's left out of there, and only a few silver pieces out of that. So pretty good. You can make several pieces out of this. A delightful little kit. Let's take a closer look and get in there. Pretty nice. Go and look at the details. Love it. All right, my friends. We went a little bit long today. Let me adjust this. And see all my mess. Yeah, you guys, I'm so glad that we can do this. It's one of the highlights of my week. It's hanging with my friends. Right, let's get this. All right. That cat's like paw under there.
He's mad at me right now.
He doesn't like when I touch his paws for some reason. He's got really soft paws. They're very soft.
You can just
And
bite them
he
anyway.
does not use full claw. That's nice because he's got sharp claws.
Kiss him anyway.
Sheree says, my nana was a seamstress for Marilyn Monroe and a trousseau designer for Marion Davis and the Vanderbilt. She was great.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome. Wendy says, thank you both. Got to come and get my Asheville fix soon. Yeah. Hey, get some lunch. Wouldn't that be fun if we had a big get together and we had like a big bus load and we could go over to, I don't know if you like barbecue, we could go over to Bear's Barbecue or
We should go to Bouchon.
to where? Bouchon?
Yeah.
Bouchon?
Yeah.
You know, listen, ladies.
Look,
Listen.
it's good.
Listen, Linda. Bouchon, that's crazy. You know what, Azalea? When I was pregnant with you, I used to go to Bouchon. That's a French
Look,
restaurant in town.
I'm not like
And I
a big
used to
fan of
get-
barbecue. I don't lie. The past like
They had
three
the
times
best.
I've
Is it
gone.
still open, Bouchon? I can't believe
Yes,
it's still
they're open. They just did a revamp. They're open though, I'm pretty sure.
They have these pommes frites. I don't know if they still have them, but they put some kind of delicious sprinkle on top that has like rosemary and black pepper and bay leaves. It's fantastic. And I'm surprised. I used to get the French onion soup, an order of the pommes frites. It's gonna make me sound afraid to get in there. And then they had a mussel night, like the mussels, and I liked the mussel plate. We used to live. We used to walk there, Greg and I, when we lived downtown. All right, thank y'all for joining me. It's one of the best parts of my week is hanging with y'all, and I would love it if we had a get together, sat there and had a nice time chatting. I was going to ask the gals over the rest of the gals for the TGB if we could do that one time. Like if whoever has the Zoom account with the like the unlimited, because I think we only have a 45-minute window on our account, but there's somebody I think has the full. It's like $100 for that to get that full account. So I'll find out if anyone would be willing. Like if they. Like, I don't know about Zoom. We were talking about it, but the other day I was like, wouldn't it be fun if we just had a little get together or nodding or making or something? Wendy says, Jamaican me hungry. Give me some of that, Nubby. Denied. That's his lot in life, y'all. And look how he's used to it. Don't worry, he's used to it. Honey. Big cat. Kalite says, thanks for sharing your magic. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, my friends. I appreciate you. Don't forget to tune in October 17th through 19th for our next Fall Fest with the TGBE. Should be a good time. It'll be in a couple weeks. We're working on our next round of Lucky Dip. You saw some of the stuff we're getting ready to put in it, and it's pretty luxurious. I found some more opals. I was like, man, all this cheddar in here. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on Sunday. All right, good night, friends.